Of course, right as I wrap up my Kyle Busch championship case, some news comes out in the NASCAR world. And this is one I don't think anyone has seen before, at least happen mid-season. But for those of you who are unaware of the situation, Kurt Busch, of course, got injured back at Pocono and has not raced since with a concussion. Ty Gibbs has been driving the number 45 car. And Kurt Busch had to withdraw his playoff waiver to make it into the Cup Series playoffs in the Drivers' Championship. However, because the 45 car, the number 45 charter and entry, won a race, has competed in every race, and has been top 30 in points, they are still competing for the Owners' Championship. Whereas Ryan Blaney, who is in the Drivers' Championship on points because Kurt Busch withdrew that Drivers' Championship eligibility, Blaney in the 12 is not eligible or not fighting for the Owners' Championship. So what does that mean? That, of course, it's pretty straightforward. The 45 car is still fighting for a championship, but it's fighting for the Owners' Championship and not the Drivers' Championship. So 23XI has made the decision to put Bubba Wallace in the 45 car and have him go for the Owners' Championship. Now, nothing really changes other than the door number, honestly. Bubba Wallace is still going to have the same crew chief. I think he's still having the same pit crew. Ty Gibbs is going to have the crew chief. Kurt Busch is crew chief, who he's been working with for the past few weeks, and that team's going to stay the same. So it's not like he's switching crew chiefs, switching cars, and everything's going to be different. It's just that 23XI wants to put their more experienced Cup Series driver in contention for the Owners' Championship. Now, the closest comparison I could have to this has never happened before, but the closest comparison would be when Hendrick Motorsports has switched their numbers in the past, like the most recent one, when Alex Bowman went from the 88 to the 48, he did not switch teams. He did not get Cliff Daniels as his crew chief in the 48 pit crew. They just switched the number. They switched the sponsorship. Greg Ives was still the crew chief. He still had the same pit crew. Everything stayed the same on the 88, and the 48 turned into the 5, and that's where Jimmy Johnson's old crew went, was to the 5. It's kind of like that, if you get what I'm trying to say here. Here's their reasoning behind it. After consulting with NASCAR, we made this decision in the best interest of the entire organization and for our employees who helped earn a spot in the playoffs for the Owners' Championship through their hard work. This is what the team president, Steve Lauletta, said. Once again, sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. While Ty has done a great job for us in the number 45 car, we feel that Bubba's experience in this car at the upcoming playoff tracks and his recent momentum will give 23XI the best chance at maximizing our points each weekend. We recognize that this is a unique opportunity in the Cup Series, and we're grateful to our employees and partners for standing with the team and supporting this decision. So it looks like they did have to go through NASCAR to get approval for this. It's like I said, it doesn't matter who drives the car. If the 15 Rick Ware racing car who rotates drivers, if they were top 30 in points and won this past week at Daytona, they would be in the Owners' Championship playoffs. That's how it works. So it doesn't really matter who's driving the car. As long as you win, as long as you race every race, you're in the Owners' Championship. So obviously with Kurt Busch being out, it's upsetting that they didn't make the drivers' playoffs because you want him to be healthy. But it's also unfortunate that they don't get to make the playoffs. But they do make the Owners' Championship playoffs, and they will be fighting for a spot in the round of 12. So that'll be something interesting to see because we're so used to seeing the drivers' standings mirror the owner's standings. Whatever that result is, that's what it is. But because there were 16 different winners and one of those winners is not playoff eligible, the owner side is still eligible. There are some questions with this. The first one, let's get out of the way, is that Bubba Wallace to the 45. Is this a big deal? Is this going to completely change things? No. It's literally changing stickers on the car is what they're doing. They're putting the 45 on Bubba Wallace's car. I'm assuming he's going to keep the same sponsorship. They might do Kurt Busch's sponsorship. I don't know. As for Ty Gibbs, he's going to stay driving for 23XI. He's just going to be in the number 23 car. So they're switching numbers. They are literally just switching numbers. Bubba Wallace, because he's the more experienced driver, because he has been looking pretty good the last few weeks, they would rather have him competing for the Owners' Championship because of that experience, because of his skill set versus Ty Gibbs, who is still learning the Cup Series car It's not to say Ty Gibbs isn't talented, but it's just the fact of the matter, he's only been in, 6 races at this point, so there's no point in career start number 7 to say, hey, you're fighting for the Owners' Championship. Good luck, bud. You put Bubba Wallace in that car. He has multiple years of Cup Series experience. He's a Cup Series winner, and he's been with this team for almost 2 years now. So it makes a lot of sense to actually put Bubba Wallace in the entry to fight for the Owners' Championship. So smart move by 23XI, in my opinion. I didn't even think about this, to be honest, looking at the playoffs, but it does make sense when you look at it. So smart move by 23XI. Don't know what else to say on that. The unfortunate thing is that with this move, this is just my speculation, my thoughts. It sounds like Kurt Busch could be out longer than we expect. They said at the beginning of the playoffs they didn't specify how many races, but the fact that they're putting Bubba in the 45 to fight for the Owners' Championship, and that's basically saying to me, Kurt Busch will not come back in the playoffs, or he won't come back in time to fight for the Owners' Championship himself. So that's kind of what I think, to be honest with you. Just that Kurt Busch might be out for the rest of the season. He might be out for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but it's just unfortunate that, a qualifying crash at Pocono has taken Kurt Busch out so long. Obviously there could have been more concussions before that. I think Dale Jr., when he had his concussions, he talked about how he had these micro concussions and how, they go away after a bit, but when you keep on getting them, they build up to the big thing, which is what took Dale Jr. out for the 2016 season. So hopefully Kurt Busch can come back healthy. I really hope this isn't a career-ending injury for Kurt Busch. It would be very, very, I don't even know what word to use. I don't want to say upsetting. I don't know, but it'd be unfortunate for sure. But yeah, putting Bubba in the 45 to me is just saying that 23XI, they either fear for the worst, which is Kurt Busch being out the rest of the season, or they already know the worst and know Kurt Busch could be out the rest of the season. So I don't know what they know. I don't know if, they could have a press release tomorrow that says Kurt's out for the rest of the year. But hoping Kurt Busch gets better. But this is a little interesting news. We've never seen this before where, the Drivers' Championship and the Owners' Championship are different in the playoffs. The 12 is in the Drivers. He's not in the Owners. The 45 is in the Owners, but not in the Drivers. So that should be interesting. I don't know how they're going to do. Top of my head, looking at that first round, Toyota was so strong. Bubba Wallace was really strong at Kansas in the spring, and then obviously the 45 won, so they could get out of the first round. Bubba's really good at Bristol. Darlington, I don't know how he's done at Darlington, but heck, the 45 could get out of the first round of the Owners' Championship. Second round, there's 1.5 miles in there. Bubba's a good super speedway racer. The road course is a bit of a struggle. Win Talladega, and, who knows? Maybe you're in the round of 8. Then you got 2.5 miles in there where 23XI, where Toyota's done really good. Heck, could the 45 be in the Championship 4? That would be the weirdest situation. The Championship 4, with Blaney in there, you got 17th in the Owners' Championship, and he's fighting for the Drivers' Championship, but then you also have the Owners' Championship car that's in the Championship 4, but he's not fighting for the championship in the Driver. That would be weird. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking now, but anyways, just so many situations to think about, but obviously hoping for the best for Kurt Busch. Hopefully he is okay. Hopefully this is not a career-ending injury. Hopefully he can come back this year. If not, get rested up, come back next year. I don't know what his plans are, what his thinking is, but hopefully he is okay. But as for Bubba Wallace, he's going to have a shot to fight for an Owners' Championship for 23XI Racing. Obviously, I think the higher you finish, the more money you get. That is probably one of the motivators for 23XI Racing. And we'll see how he does. Can he take them far? Can he get a win, get some more points? We'll see how they do. But Ty Gibbs is going to be in the 23 now. 23XI, just a reminder, their first ever driver was Ty Dillon in the Clash in 2020, or 2021, sorry. So weirder things have happened at 23XI Racing, I guess. But thanks for watching this again. Leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to push the championship case back for Chase Briscoe to tomorrow. I will do that and whoever's next on the list, and we'll talk about those. So, yeah, thanks again for watching.